is Dr. D from ABA with Dr. D. It's a real pleasure to have you once again here on our new episode, new segment for diversity in ABA. We have some really cool updates that I want to share with you. This is specifically from the BACB. They actually have updated their data in regards to the number of BCBAs we have, BCABAs, and also RBTs. So I wanted to share this particular segment to review this information together with you. So a shout out once again to the Behavior Analyst Certification Board, the BACB, for providing this phenomenal data. So useful, so important to be able to review this information together. So once again, this was updated on January 2nd, 2024, 24th, which is basically a couple days ago. Literally, today's the 9th, so this was updated on this 7 days ago. And the most recent data indicate that we have 66,339 BCBAs. Okay, so that's a nice increase from what we had last year. Basically, so we went from from 2022, it was 59,976, and we ended the year at 66,339. So pretty nice increase there for BCBAs. BCABAs is 5,414, was how many we ended for the 2023 year. RBTs was 160,041 for RBTs. And once again, looking at data here, what's really interesting, we're noticing that for the BCABAs, we're seeing a descending trend here. We're seeing less BCABAs in comparison. The last three data points we have, for instance, in 2021, it was at 5,623, and then it went down to 5,580 in 2022. And then this past year in 2023 went to 5,414. So it continues to go down. For the RBT, this is a good sign. We're seeing more RBTs in our field. This is a absolutely good sign here. We're seeing that the last, basically, it's just been an ascending trend across the board. So we've been seeing phenomenal numbers there. I'm gonna go back in 2021. It's 112,000. In 2022, 130,000. And this in 2023 we had 160,000. So 160,000 RBTs. So that's really good to see that. We're seeing more people that are certified, more behavior technicians that are being certified in their field. Once again, to me, I think that's good. I think it's a step forward. It's a step, in regards to the right, being able to ensure that people that are practicing their field are certified. They have some knowledge, right, about the information relevant to the services that are being provided. So that's good data. We're now going to get into demographic information a little bit here. Let me see if I can be able to zoom in a bit more. Let me see if this works here. A bit more. Because I'm really curious to see, where we stand right now with regards to the race and ethnicity finishing out the year. So for the overall, field, and this includes RBTs, BCABAs, BCBAs, and BCBADs, 54.16% came in selected white as being their race or ethnicity. And then we go on here, a small percentage here for Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders at 0.62. For Hispanic, Latinx was 24.76. For Black, it was 13.15. Asian was a 6.83. And American Indian or Alaska Native was 0.47. So that's overall data right now for overall. Now I'm gonna go into the RBT. For RBT, the percentage was for white 46.57. For Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islanders was 0.72%. Hispanic or Latinx was 29.63. Black was 16.71%. Asian was 5.84. American Indian and Alaska Native was 0.54%. Okay, so that's where we stand with RBT. For the BCABA, we were at 49.45% for white. For Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander was 0.28%. Hispanic or Latinx was 23.14%. Black was 5.05%. Asian was 21.83%. And American Indian and Alaska Native was 0.24%. And for BCBAs and BCBADs, 73.33 was white. Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander was 0.41%. Hispanic or Latinx was 12.86. Black was 5.06. Asian was 8.04%. American Indian or Alaska Native was 0.30%. Okay, so those are the numbers once again for overall in regards to people that are certified. And I noticed the same, to be honest with you, the same, I guess, types of numbers from the previous years. I'm actually have seen a little bit less, diversity this year than last year. So once again, it's good to kind of look into that. What I'm gonna do in the next segment, I'm actually gonna look back and I'm gonna try to create my own breakdown to do a comparison of 2023 and 2024 in regards to these numbers that we're seeing right now, the aspect of race and ethnicity, to see where we stand for each of these particular areas. For gender, we're going to that direction. Overall, it was 86.09 female, 13.21% male, 0.63% for non-binary, and other was 0.07. For RBT, very similar overall numbers. 85.02 female, male was 14.09%, non-binary was 0.79, and other was 0.10%. BACB was 87.18% for female, male was 12.49%, non-binary was 0.31%, other was 0.02%. For BCBA and BCBAD, it was 88.63% for female, male was 11.10%, non-binary was 0.25%, and other was 0.02%. Okay, so those are the numbers. Once again, majority of people serving our field are females. Okay, so that is a number. That's the data that is indicated here. Something we talked about in the previous segment is also another thing to mention is the importance of now how can we able to have a bit more male presence, because let's be honest, there's a need for more male presence in our field. Okay, for age wise, overall the majority of the people in our field are in the age range of 25 to 34 years old. That's 44.89% of that particular group. And I'm going to look at the next big group is actually this one here, the 18 to 24 years old. 21.55% of is from that group. The third place goes to the 35 to 44 year old range group. That's 20.48%. And then we go on here to the 45 to 54 years old. It's 9.17. 55 to 64 is 3.33. And 65 and over is at 0.59%. Okay, so that's overall. Now, very clear to see that this is a very, very young field. Majority of people serving in or working in our field are, in the age range of 18 to 34. Okay, so that's once again that can be seen as a good thing. It means that the future of this field is tremendous. That means it's a very young field. You can only expect that there's gonna be more growth in our field, specifically now with technology and already things that are going on. But at the same time, it's always good to know, right, where we stand with that, because we want to understand, right, how can we be able to continue maintaining these numbers? How can we be able to continue reinforcing these numbers in the long run, getting more young people to continue joining our field? The next one is for RBTs. RBTs 25 to 34 year old range, they're at 44.48%. The 18 to 24 is at 30.79%. Very much a young group there for the RBTs providing the direct services. 35 to 44 we're at 13.99%. 45 to 54 we're at 7.40%. 55 to 64 we're at 2.97%, and 65 and over was at 0.37%. For the BCABA, we had the group that was the largest for the BCBA, which is really interesting, was actually the 25 to 34 year old group. That was at 43.67. The 35 to 44 year old group was at 30.11. The 45 to 54 year group was at 15.23. The 55 to 64 year old group was at 6.01. Then we have a really small group here of 18 to 24 at 4.02%. And last but not least, our 65 years and over is at 0.97%. For BCBAs and BCBADs, the biggest group here once again, this is really interesting here, is that the 25 to 34 group is actually a big portion of our BCBAs and BCBADs, and that's 45.95%. So the majority of you guys out there listening to me, we're seeing a really young group. You are part of this really young group here. 35 to 44 years old is at 35.20. So we combine both the 25 to 34 and the 35 to 44. That makes up the majority of our field. The 45 to 54 group is at 12.90. 55 to 64 is at 3.95. 65 and over is 1.08. In our 18 to 24 group, which is really interesting, that's a really young group, it's at 0.92%. So those are the numbers once again in regards to age. So that's we're seeing some really interesting numbers, and actually it's very consistent. I think I don't want to use my memory, but honestly, it's very consistent what we're being seen in the past. The pattern that this field is very young, right? It's a very young field. Here they just share some more information about the areas of emphasis or overall, like where majority of people are providing services, behavioral analytic services, and majority of it's not surprising, it's for autism spectrum disorder. 81.84% of the population is working in that particular specialty, right? So, and there's other groups here. I'm gonna provide the link for everybody to go and take a look at this information. Really interesting information, like I said, really interesting. I have some other stuff I want to present to you in the upcoming recordings, so that we can be able to talk a little bit more about diversity. I was actually just reviewing an article this morning, really interesting one. It came out a few years ago and talked a little bit more about the aspects of what we can do to be able to have more inclusion, more diversity at the university level, and also if you're working in the for agencies or organizations out there that provide behavioral analytics services, what could be done in those particular areas. So I'm very excited to share that information very soon with you all. But that's the overall basis of this presentation today. I just wanted to talk to you about the most recent BACB demographic data. Like I said, I'll put the link there for you to go and check this out. It's good to be aware. It's good to be knowing where we stand right now with our demographics. And at the end of the day, right, the goal is to see more diversity, more inclusion. So I'm very curious to know, right, what do you guys think? What are some comments that you guys have? What is in your mind in regards to some ways that we can be able to change, right, the scheme of things, how we can be able to see more diversity in our field? Is diversity even possible? I guess that's a question to bear as well to mention, and it comes to mind, right? Because it's been pretty consistently where we're seeing that these numbers here, specifically the race and ethnicity, this is very specifically the pattern we've been noticing basically since the data has been around. So it's very important to start having these conversations, how we can be able to change this a little bit, because I think diversity is good, inclusion is good. We want to see more of that. Our world is growing more on the multicultural level. There's more diversity. We interact with people from different backgrounds, so it's good to see how we can be able to see more growth in regards to these particular area of our very young field, as we talked about, that's still growing. So you all have a good one. I hope you guys leave a comment, give me a like there, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. This channel is for you. It's a free free bits of information there for you. We have more video models coming along the way for you. I know that we have a lot of people that check out our channel for the video models. We have more video models for stuff that you guys can use for your training. Once again, for free. We're not charging anything. This is literally something that we want to contribute for all of our people out there. We understand, we feel the struggle. Times are tough, so this information is for you. No affiliation, no association whatsoever, other than the fact that we just want to help people out there in our field. And thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.